The following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Brother Mike, Phoenix, yes. Back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. You are about to listen to the nastiest Christian radio broadcast in the country. You're going to hear the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We don't care who likes it. We never have. Thanks for tuning in. Today's Bible study, religious exemptions. Do you need a religious exemption? I'll send you one for free. No problemo. Welcome to the program. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. I have some religious exemptions for you if you need them for the experimental vaccine. As the doctors in Israel call it, the kill shots. I'll be happy to send it to you after I make these announcements. No problemo. I apologize for my voice. I've had a cold. I ask you to forgive me for that. On our website, HardcoreChristianity.com, you'll see all of our ministry services. We have 2 live services every week, as you know, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, Phoenix Time. Preaching, teaching, healing, and deliverance at both services. Both those services are broadcast on our streaming service, youtube.com/House of Healing AZ. Also on the website, you can sign up for one of our free seminars. Check out the radio programs. They're all archived. You can send us another donation. Hit the PayPal button. Thanks for all the kindness you've sent us for the last 19 years. Thanks also to Sister Karen's referrals that you've given her to list your house for sale. You sent over a lot of homes in 2021. I'm sure grateful for that and appreciate your support of the ministry, your kind donations, and your prayers. May God richly bless you. Today's Bible study, religious exemptions. Got some important information I want to share with you today on religious exemptions to help you out to stay away from this deranged experimental vaccine they want everybody to take. This thing's got a wicked or evil foundation, folks. There's something wrong with it, and it's bad. Red flag this thing from A to Z. Here's some of the information I want to share with you. I will send you a religious exemption if you'd like one. Send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com. I'll send it right out. But here's what you need to know. Number one, most states in the United States, almost all of them, do have religious exemptions for childhood vaccines. Let me give you a quick example. The Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't believe in vaccines, and they get a religious exemption based on their faith. Okay, they don't go for childhood vaccines. They don't like that stuff, and they get exemptions for it. Okay, so there's a precedent for religious exemptions in the United States. It's perfectly normal. It's perfectly normal. 15 different states offer personal exemptions and other religious exemptions. Okay. One state, Minnesota, does have personal exemptions, and you don't even have to mention religion. You can get an exemption in Minnesota just for no reason. You just don't want to take it. 5 states will not allow you to get a non-medical exemption. You cannot get an exemption to a vaccine even if you have a medical reason for it or a doctor's documentation saying you should not get the vaccine. That is Maine, New York, West Virginia, Mississippi, and, of course, California. So there's different type of exemptions, as you know, personal, medical, and religious. Today I'm focusing on religious exemptions. A recent survey, by the way, came out you need to be aware of. It was done by the Public Religion Research Institute. And they had some interesting information about exemptions. And here's the overall result of it. Generally speaking, the American public, 60% 60% of the people in the United States believe that people are using religious exemptions as an excuse to get out of the vaccine. In other words, the religious exemption is phony. They're not doing it for religious reasons. They're just using a religious exemption as an excuse. So the general public right now basically is against you if you want a religious exemption. They're not buying it. In the United States, about somewhere in the neighborhood of 73% of the adults in America have been vaccinated. That should be enough for herd immunity if you factor in people who have already had COVID and recovered from it. You have natural immunity. If 73% of the people are vaccinated, if this thing were legitimate, and trust me, it isn't, there should be no problem with COVID-19. But right now, as I'm speaking to you, this new variant of the virus, the Omicron, that's a Greek letter, as you know, this thing is spreading across the country like wildfire. It's extremely easy to pick it up, but fortunately, it's not near as dangerous as the other variants. So people are not getting sick, deathly sick, and they're not dying. As of right now, it's swept most of the states in the United States, and there's less than 10 people in the entire country who have died. So they're using scare tactics again, trying to push you into the vaccine, and you can get out of it because there's legal precedent for religious exemptions, and I'm going to send you one when you send me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com. I'll send it out to you this week, no problemo. According to this survey, the general public wants you to get vaccinated. Over 60% of the people think that they're just excuses. 59% of Americans, including minorities of every major religious group, except white evangelicals, agree that too many people are using religion as an excuse to avoid vaccines. Translation, white evangelicals are the main thrust of religious exemptions in the United States. The rest of the people think they're excuses. And the vast majority of people think that you're just using an excuse of religion, you're falling back on God just to get out of taking the kill shot. But here's what's interesting in the survey. Christian groups such as Hispanic Catholics, Jews, Jewish Christians, Messianic Jews, Hispanic Protestants, white Catholics, Mormons, these groups, over 60% of them feel that religious exemptions are fake. They're just an excuse. You imagine that? Yeah. They think people are using it as an excuse to get out of the jab. These are Christian groups. These are Christian groups. The lowest group, as I mentioned, were white evangelical Protestants. Only 41% of them surveyed felt that the religious exemption was an excuse. The rest of them felt that it was valid. It's amazing. But when you do a religious exemption, you have to focus on a couple important things. Number one, there's legal precedent for it. Number two, you are opposed to the vaccines because they were developed through the use of fetal cell lines. Okay? And that is, to us, immoral. You're not allowed to use aborted baby cells to run experiments on. And obviously the reason they do that is because human baby cells obviously provide much more accurate research for viruses than do animal cell lines. So they want to use humans to test to see if these vaccines work. Fetal cell lines, those are cells grown in a lab. based on aborted fetal cells they've been collecting them for decades. And they've been used for decades in testing and research and development of the mRNA vaccines, particularly during the production of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. That's the one you really need to stay away from. That's the one that has more of the more damaging side effects. Johnson & Johnson, really bad. So you are protesting vaccines based on the use of fetal cell lines because of moral issues, religious grounds, that killing babies is immoral and using their cells for lab research is equally immoral, and you're processing it and you do not agree with it, you do not believe in it. Okay? When you do a religious vaccine, you have to focus on that spiritually your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. That's in 1 Corinthians 3, 1 Corinthians 6, 2 Corinthians 5, 2 Corinthians 7. And that you are not allowed, because of your religious beliefs, to denigrate your body with an experimental vaccine that has not had the appropriate testing and has not been proven not to have significant side effects. The preliminary reporting on the vaccines now is that they are causing terrible side effects, heart conditions in young men, blood clots in women, miscarriages in pregnant women, on and on down the line. And for religious and moral reasons, you are not agreeing to take the vaccine. Thirdly, you focus on the survival rate. If you get COVID-19, any of the variants, your survival rate is over 99%. Therefore, morally, there's no reason to put your body at risk for a side effect from a vaccine that has a survival rate of over 99%. You do not take a vaccine because of religious exemptions are legally allowed. There is a legal precedent for religious exemptions, and I'm going to send you one, an excellent one. If you give me an email, mike@hardcorechristianity.com. You can call if you want, 602-636-5800, and I will send out a religious exemption for you. So if you morally and spiritually do not believe in this vaccine, I don't believe in it, I haven't had it, I'm not going to have it. If you need a religious exemption, contact me, I'll send it out right away.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.